This is Tara from Tara's Tarot here with your April 2019 reading. I have the cards dealt. It is actually really interesting. I can't wait to see how this is pertaining to everyone. So I'm just going to summarize a couple things and then dig into all the cards. Okay, this is saying, so this might apply, I always ask for this to reach the people, like for the message to come through that's going to apply to the most amount of people. Okay, so this is saying there's a new beginning here. Something just happened that was very enlightening and kind of shifted the status quo. And now there's this whole new opening, this whole new future, this whole new direction, this whole new beginning, full of potential, right? You're on stable ground. You have what you need to have your needs fulfilled, like practically life. You're safe, you're on firm footing, you have all your needs met, you're fine. In your environment, we've got the 10 of Cups. So, showing a lot of emotional fulfillment, being happy in that way. But it looks like you're really, you might be struggling with a lot of disempowering thoughts, anxiety, feeling trapped, feeling stuck, not knowing which way to go. It's almost like this new future's here, this new chapter is here, and you're a little afraid of the unknown or don't know how to move forward. And you may be kind of clogging things up and kind of keeping yourself stuck and not moving with the flow of this as much and embracing this new future. You do have the strength to overcome this, figure out what you need to know. This is kind of about figuring out what you want and allowing that to come into being and experiencing that. So, okay, let's break this down. So, the first card, the main card we've got is the Fool. So this is indicating there's a brand new chapter starting for you. There's a brand new cycle. So when the Fool shows up, it's that time where we can start over. We can really, truly, we don't have baggage. We don't have entanglements to the past. We don't have to kind of, go through that process of dealing with that. We're free. So, we can move forward. We're being presented, and this is a major card. So it's time for this new beginning to happen. Now it's the Fool too, because, okay, it's kind of like, think about Frodo, he's never left the Shire before, and now he has to, journey to the ends of the earth. He doesn't know what he's going to expect, but he's excited. He's like, okay, I know this is my mission. I know I'm supposed to be here, but I'm a little worried and fearful, and I don't really know what I'm going to. So the Fool can be exciting, but also a little scary. Okay. Crossing the Fool is the 9 of Swords. So this is making me feel like you're kind of anxious about the unknown, maybe. So this is when we have a lot of fears start to come up, and we can't really, we have so much anxiety and so many thoughts that we can't really see clearly. We can't distinguish what's just a fear, what's actually real, what am I picking up on? And our mind can start to spin out of control and kind of imprison us. It's when we're having anxiety, negative thinking, nightmares, staying up at night, having panic attacks. That's not to scare you. It's just saying if you're feeling anxiety about this, that is normal because you're starting a brand new chapter, but don't look at your thoughts and really kind of be conscious of, is this like something I actually have to worry about? Is this like a true concern, or is this just a fear? And try to, because we can get more control over our thoughts. So anyway, we'll keep going and we can get more into that. It's so hard because if this was a personal reading, I would go so in depth into this, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. So, okay. But then what's interesting is the position of you is the 8 of Swords. Okay, so you're definitely feeling disempowered. It's almost like, I'm afraid, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if I get hurt? I've never done this before. I've never been here before. I don't know the way. I'm not prepared. Now, we can, of course, have those thoughts and, use our logic and look ahead and look at but when that starts to turn into such a strong pattern that dominates our choices, where we can't move forward because we're afraid of what could happen, that's when it's an issue. That's when we're being locked in this uncomfortable place we don't have to be in. So it's making me feel like there's a little bit of, you're not seeing things clearly right now. There could be, you're just overwhelmed by these confusing thoughts, and they have kind of a hold on you right now. And we don't want to let these thoughts prevent you from continuing on the path you're meant to continue on. And we don't want to have unnecessary anxiety and worry, and we don't want to suffer unnecessarily. But this is coming up strong, okay? Now, interestingly enough, and I continue with the similar thread to kind of show you how it's showing up multiple times. This reading is much more than just, oh my God, anxiety and bad thoughts. But just bear with me as I go into the hopes and fears, the Two of Swords. So this is showing there's this energy of not knowing which direction to go, not really understanding what information you're getting. What are your thoughts telling you? You can't really see clearly. You can't really get a gut feeling. You don't really understand what's going on. And so I feel like you might be feeling very out of control, like you need clarity, like you don't know what's a real thought, what's not a real thought, it's just being so imprisoned by what could happen, what would happen, what if I make the wrong choice, that it's just keeping you stuck. So we're going to figure out how to best navigate that. So in the recent past, we've got the Tower here. So something exploded, something shifted, something that you saw a certain way, or you saw as truth, or that was your reality, has been blown apart in a good way, because, life was saying you can't, you're meant for something else. This isn't serving you anymore. This isn't actually built on the right foundation. You could be living in an illusion and not know it. So the universe comes in and goes, okay, you can't do this anymore. Like free will, yeah, but now it's our time to step in, which has led you to this brand new future. So whatever happened, it's a good thing. You're free. And now you're free to move on, continue with your journey. But there's just these fear thoughts. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Now, underneath the deck, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. So this is showing, you really don't have anything to be worried about. This is under the surface, the subconscious, what might not be known. You are on stable footing. You do have what you need. You're not going to spontaneously combust. You're not going to fall apart, be out on the street. Like, you do have a stable foundation to work with. This is the card about, again, having your needs met, being independent, being grounded, enjoying what you've created in your life, enjoying all the things you have to be grateful for in your life. So I don't feel like you're in jeopardy. I don't feel like this is a foolish new beginning. I feel like this is where you should be. And even though you have this anxiety, you're actually on firm footing. Like you're okay. You're not going off the deep end here. In your environment, we've got the Ten of Cups. So this new beginning for some of you might be a new love relationship. Like something that feels really right to you. Something that kind of has the promise of staying power or has potential. And that can be scary because we're vulnerable. We put our heart on the line. What if the same thing happens from the past? What if one day I'm just left behind? What if I make the wrong choice? Okay. So that is normal, to have these thoughts, but Do we want our thoughts of what potentially could happen prevent us from experiencing this new journey, this new adventure, and all that that may bring? No, right? Because then you're still getting, that's the tricky thing about fear. It actually creates what it's tricking you into protecting yourself over. It actually creates that reality. So where you think, oh, for this one example, I'm afraid to get hurt. I'm anxious and worried about that. So I'm going to protect myself and not put myself out there because I'm afraid of being alone, or I'm afraid of being separated from this person. But by doing that, by protecting yourself, what reality are you getting? You're separating yourself from that person. You're not being with that person. What sense does that make? But it's so tricky because it's hooked into our emotions, and we're emotional beings, and we can get lost in our thoughts. That's why that devil energy is the deceiver. It's not doing us any favors. It's tricking us. It's disempowering us. We want to embrace, because you should be here. You should be in this new future. What did get shifted around was meant to be removed. It was meant to, because it was not in your best interest. It wasn't in alignment with where you ultimately want to go. Wow. So yeah, you might just be a little bit triggered, normal. New uncharted territory, the fear of the unknown, but put it in its proper place. Logically write down your fears and then detach from them. And remember to always, put a deposit in the positive, in what you want to create, and align with that. Don't forget to align with that. If we're constantly focusing on what we don't want to happen, that's all we'll know. We'll just be in this reality, and we'll create this for ourselves. We want to be aware of our fears, be aware of how we're feeling, but also be aware of where we want to go, be aware of what we want, be aware of what gives us joy. We want to balance that out. We don't want, it's okay to have negative thoughts, but we don't want them to control us or control our actions, right? Do something out of joy, do something out of love, don't do something out of fear. You don't want fear to make your decisions for you. Okay, anyway, so now we move into the near future. Okay, so this new beginning has started. You're on a firm foundation with your resources and your needs. There's a lot of emotional energy here around you with the promise of ongoing emotional contentment and bliss. Moving in, but you're a little triggered by that, a little heavily triggered, so that's a little imbalanced. Then we're moving into the near future. Now, remember I told you about being blocked off, allowing those thoughts to block us off? The near future is just that, the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is like, okay, you know what? I don't trust this, so I'm going to take it on myself to monitor everything, make sure I don't get hurt, make sure I don't lose any money, make sure I have what I need. It's like your ego is controlling things, but by doing that, you're creating a block of energy because your belief, what reality you're creating from that deep belief is there isn't enough. I am going to be let down. If I don't manage every single detail and control it, I'll never get what I want. Oh, it's just such an exhausting avenue to take. We can let go and be in alignment with what we want, who we are, know what our boundaries are, be aware of our thoughts, but be in control and experience and be free and live life. But when we're operating from a place of disempowerment and fear, and we try to control, which is very normal. We all try to we all try to control things, but it's when it starts to become unhealthy. It's an unhealthy attachment. That's not a fun place to be. It almost creates more worry than it's worth, more effort than it's worth, and it's blocking us in. So with this analogy, this guy, he's finally made it to a plateau financially. He's got his Four Pentacles. He's worked hard. He's generating something in his reality, right? And now he does not want to lose it. So instead of kind of aligning with that energy of abundance and being in tune with what feels good to you and using your will and creating and doing the work. This is like when we're going, okay, no, I don't trust that. I need to kind of be sneaky and manipulate and control and make sure I know where, like, instead of, I'm going to hoard all my money. I'm going to just keep it close. I don't ever want to lose it. So, but then he becomes overburdened, like, he doesn't want to spend any money. So then what's the point of accumulating something if it's going to just sit there and be blocked and clogged? So no more money can get in. He's like, how can he hold any other pentacles? He doesn't trust a banker to look over them. He doesn't trust his safe to keep them. He doesn't trust investing. So it's all on him. I'm the only one I can trust. But then no other pentacles can come into the picture. He's stunting his experience. He's stunting his abundance. He's stunting his growth. Okay? So that's what we don't want to be. Because you do have this beautiful opportunity here with the Fool. There's a beautiful new potential, new cycle, no baggage. We want to embrace that and not stifle and try to manipulate and control that journey. Because it's going to leave us stuck and we're going to not be able to appreciate the full potential of that. Oh, man. Now, what's interesting, all right, we're going to get to the outcome. Just want to touch on one thing. What's interesting is the card that represents your conscious mind, where your thoughts are, what's kind of apparent on the surface level. We've got the Queen of Swords. So, I mean, that's a lot of swords. Okay. So what is stuck here? I mean, what is not stuck? What is this? The Queen of Swords is like when we don't really have confusion. When we're very in control of our thoughts, we know what's going on. Someone that's very analytical, very strategic, very astute in that way. Someone who knows what they want, knows what they believe, and stands by it. Who isn't afraid of hurting someone's feelings by saying their truth. So I don't know if this is somebody else that has given you information or told you something that was hard to hear, and that is affecting being triggered and having these kind of panicky thoughts. This could be our own, because the Queen of Swords is traditionally like the divorcee card, not meaning you're getting divorced, but meaning why she's the divorcee card is she doesn't waste her time getting like too wrapped up in emotions if she knows the truth. Like, she's not going to be in denial just to serve an emotional purpose. She's willing to cut that off and just go with the truth. So there could be an element here of like you thinking or you believing, like you sacrificing some kind of emotional component by thinking, oh, well, this is the way it has to be. I have to be logical. I have to disconnect my head from my heart. I'm not going to be foolish. I have to protect myself. So it can be that in alignment with that energy too. Oh my God. I just want to like free you from that. But we've all been there, you know? But yeah, you don't have to be a prisoner in that reality. The Strength card is on the bottom of the deck. So this is you contending with those fears. This is you being confronted with those sides of ourselves that are misguided, our baser instincts, our unevolved impulses. And it's about having the opportunity to overcome, know you can overcome them, knowing that your mind works for you. You don't work for your mind. Being able to step up to this challenge and prove to yourself that you do have the strength to get through this confusion or anxiety. It's finding out how to put that stuff in its proper place and rise above. So again, you're not being warned about something. You're not being this is not, it's not like, oh, you have to protect yourself. No, because then what are you going to be? And never leaving your house and never wanting to do any new experience and never wanting to put your heart on the line? No. So, this is reminding you that you have the power inside to free yourself, to control your own life, to rise above these challenges and not let these things dominate you or influence you, but show your control over them. All right, so now we have the outcome. Outcome is very interesting. So in the context of this whole reading, okay. It's like, okay, moving forward, practically, like not being stuck, actually moving forward. So that's good. So the potential is there to get this ship in the right direction and not remain stuck, not be disempowered, to continue on, taking steps forward, building what you're trying to build, creating what you're trying to build. And also a very intense emotional aspect about being confronted with love, being in love, figuring out what you want, what's emotionally appealing to you, what do you want to invest emotionally in, and this space being created where this is developing. So this journey you're taking, it's growing, it's building, something is being born. So this is so interesting. Let me start with all right, so in our outcome, so we've got the Lovers here. So I feel like for a lot of you, this new journey has something to do with love, with a relationship. It doesn't have to be, but it's like there's either, so a brand new potential for a brand new relationship is here. And by the outcome, you are really responding to it. You're feeling connected to it. The Lovers is when something outside of ourselves resonates with ourselves in such a way that it forces us to really align with our true feelings. It forces us to look at, how do I really feel? Who am I? What do I really believe? What am I choosing? What am I creating? So there's this experience of, being triggered in that way, connecting with something on a heart level, on a soul level, where you're meant to be stimulated by this very, very emotional soul level experience. What if your lesson is, you have trouble opening up? Anyway, I'm not going to, I don't want to say that, because I'll go on too much of a tangent. But okay, so, or it could be a new cycle within your current relationship. But this is when we're really face to face with something we are recognizing that we desire, because it's a reflection of something true in ourselves. And what does that mean? What do we choose to do with that? Or do we choose to acknowledge our feelings or run from our feelings? That indicates where we are, what we're choosing, and that will dictate our future lessons and future paths and future free will and future choices. So this is like shining a spotlight on our deepest, truest parts of ourselves to show us kind of what we're made of and what we're experiencing. So then we've got Yeah, so some of you guys are falling in love and this is just like a new path and you're kind of triggered and afraid and scared and you're like afraid to let go. Now we've got the Seven of Swords here. This is all about emotional choices, just like the Lovers, okay? So what are my options? What do I want? What am I attracted to? What am I drawn to? What am I ready to invest in? What do I want to create emotionally? What am I praying for emotionally? What do I want emotionally? Oh, baby. So I feel like this is kind of like a journey of shaking off, like right now, this is an opportunity to shake off some of the limiting beliefs and limiting thoughts and realign with our heart and our truth, not illusion, but truth. And open up to what we want, open up to experiencing our emotions, open up to a new level of intimacy, new level of connection, or allowing us inside to feel, giving us ourselves permission to engage in this, and also finding out who are we, what do we want, what do we believe in. Woohoo! Then we have the Empress card and the outcome as well. So this is like the ground is fertile for this whole process to take place. Something's growing. The Empress is the receptive energy of nature, the receptive energy that needs to happen to create something. So this is the womb. This is the garden. This is the that space, that nurturing space where something is growing, something is developing, something is coming into being. So this is really exciting. There's something's maturing, something's getting fleshed out, and it has to do with emotions, it has to do with connections, it has to do with emotional freedom. You're starting a new journey. You're being released from some kind of prison you were in, and you're kind of figuring out your way through these limiting beliefs to get to the other side, to free yourself in a new way. And the Knight of Pentacles is here in the outcome. So, whereas you might be contending with this in the near future, a little bit, being stuck, being a little controlling, being a little worried about losing what you're attached to, which is a dead end. This is showing you by the outcome, you know, you can get things on the right track. This is all about moving forward, practically taking step by step by step. It's slow. It's every foot, you know where you're stepping. There's no danger. Oh my gosh. So by going on a new journey and opening our heart in a new level, which is scary, we have to remind ourselves that it doesn't have to mean we don't know where we're moving forward. We can move comfortably step by step by step by step, based on what we're comfortable with, based on what we're willing to invest and what we're willing to lose. So it's not like you just have to go, okay, I'm going to jump off this cliff without a parachute. No, you can practically see where each step, and am I ready for that step? Okay. And now I see, because this is very practical. This is very grounded. This is seeing everything, knowing everything, and then making the move. Step by little step by little step, so that you're gaining ground. It's in your control. So that should make you feel much more secure, and just as like a reminder that you can control how much you want to invest step by step of the way. Because I feel like with that helps with like the scariness and out of control feeling of falling in love, or no matter what this is about, whatever new opportunity, new path this is, the unknown, it's scary. And when we go, okay, you know, I don't have to give 100% of myself. I don't have to invest and risk 100% of my heart right away. Oh yeah, I can do it in my own terms, step by step, when I am comfortable. That's still being open, but you're also putting a boundary up of your own comfort level as you figure out what feels right to me, what resonates with me, what do I want to give of my heart, what do I want to receive of my heart. Wow. So, okay, so for Cancers this applies to, I feel like this is all about, again, coming to terms with, leaving behind whatever just got disrupted or removed from your life, or whatever illusions you were set freed from, and now you're on this new path. There is this new potential, but having to put the fears and thoughts and anxieties in their place, figuring out your power over them, figuring out your place and your control, to not be held prisoner by these energies, to not let these energies suppress your growth, but figure out how to dial that down a little bit, and also how to dial up your emotional desires and needs. What is it that how do I get to that place of receiving this? How do I get to that place of knowing, what do I do with this? And to not let fear prevent you from moving forward and experiencing happiness, So, whoa, that's exciting, because this is like a growth opportunity. Huge, 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 huge. Okay. I would love to hear if this resonates with you. Let me know. It's hard to, with personal readings, we can go so in depth and really get to the bottom of all of this. But for general readings, I just need to leave it there. So if this is kind of hitting you in a certain way and you want to share your thoughts, we can all kind of help each other, share experiences. But you are safe. Remember, you are safe. It's just the mind. It's just those silly thoughts that can trick us and make us fear. But you're more powerful than them. And you're the creator of your life, not your stinking thoughts. Your thoughts are a tool. And 99% of the thoughts we think are not real. They're just thoughts. So it's just belief. It's our belief system. It's what we're choosing to believe in. If you have a thought that's like, well, I won't get into that. I was going to say the flat earth or this thing. But if someone said to you, you're the sky is like red, duh, you don't know that, you'd be like, no, it's not, it's blue, and you'd move on, right? That's a thought, but you're like, no, I'm not subscribing to that thought, right? It's the same thing, but with emotionally triggering thoughts, it can be a lot harder to be like, wait, no, I don't believe you. Because right? So we want to get out of that frequency of that attachment to our thoughts so much. We want to understand how to navigate them and use them as a good tool to get where we want to go. Anyway. Okay, I hope this helped you, Cancer. If anyone would like a personal reading in depth, or if you have any questions about it, just email me at tara@tarastarot.com. I will see you guys next month. Best of luck, and I'll see you next time.